which raises a big challenge actually in terms of water quantity management. Quality management related to pollution that can also affect quantity. In terms also of access to water, imagine if you have a degrading quality of water, it increases the price of water, for example, for domestic use. And it raises also some issues in terms of governance. And this is where public-private partnerships are important because it's a good way to connect private actors who can bring some innovation with public actors who can improve the institutions of water governance. You're right, infrastructure is actually one of the main challenges of water governance for the future. We need to be able to capture as much water from rainfall as we can. We need to give also access to water, especially to water for domestic use and to sanitation, particularly in developing countries. But you're right, there are also some behavioral changes that are important. We should not waste water. We need to understand the value of water. And to do that, we need to have a better understanding of how the water cycle works. And we have also to invest in our institutions to create some sanctions, to create some rules that are accepted by all the actors in order to have a better management of water resources.
There are different sides, but the first is that in 2022 we have a very dry year, and I just realized that all the water supply was affected by this climate. And when I asked to people in charge of distributing water, they said me that 1 dry year is okay, but 2 is not possible. And the second thing is that we have now satellites and which measure the stock of groundwater in the earth. And we see that in some places, the stock is decreasing. So we see this at the very large scale, and this is impressive. I don't know exactly how to manage it, but the point is you are perfectly right. The underground in general is the last terra incognita in the earth. And groundwater is not everywhere. And people don't realize the difficulty to find where groundwater is. We will have difficulty to manage because of that, because we cannot map really how groundwater flow below our foot. And the second thing is that groundwater is flowing in rivers. So even if we don't know the underground and where groundwater is, we know the response in rivers because rivers collect all the groundwater on the earth. Yeah, I don't know, I'm not specialist of people in business school, but the first point is, I think, to have the minimum knowledge that we can share together. And this knowledge is very important, the scientific knowledge. And so at least this is important to have this, just to be conscious of what are the problems, what are the risks, and how we can evolve in the future with this risk of dry systems.
Water is the main input of the world economy. We're using water to build any goods, to build any services. We need water for cosmetics, for clothes, even the internet, for example, works using water actually, because you need to refresh the data centers, for example. So we have water everywhere, and that's a major input of the economy, and so that's why students should care about water, because at some point, it doesn't matter the industry in which they will work, they will have to save water and to invest in water reuse.